salt and cramp. Salt and cramp. So here in the UK, we just had a cold spell of, well, it was going down to -10, -15 at night, and the UK is a pretty small island, so it's, yeah, most of the island was cold, the whole of it. So a lot of salt was spread on the roads. So you might not be able to see it, but yeah, most of the ice and snow is just about melted now. It's about 8 degrees. It's actually an amazing, a perfect, beautiful winter ride today. Not much wind, not too much wind, and the sun, you know, it feels really warm, especially when you're in the shade and you've got the wind on your back. But anyway, so it might look like, yeah, the salt's getting washed away a little bit, but yeah, I'll finish and I'll have salt stains on my shorts and my leg warmers, and you might think, oh god, that lad's worked really hard today, sweat a lot. Well, at the moment it's just salt from melting the ice and the snow, but I don't believe, from my experience, that salt has anything to do with cramping. Now, in my bottles today, if you can see that, I've got 2 big bottles, just a nice long ride today, enjoying my time on this earth. So, I've just got sugar in my bottles today, and I go for at least 100 grams of sugar an hour, at least. Okay, at least. Now, what I have to say, you know, the advice that I give, it's all interlinked, as they say. So when I say salt doesn't have anything to do with it, you know, the electrolyte stuff, you know, tablets or whatever, you know, quite often it's a water bottle, and then just, you know, you put salt, like literally salt in it, or these tablets, and they dissolve. But do you put sugar in your bottles? How much sugar do you have? Now today, fellow cyclist there. So as I say, I was putting at least 100 grams of sugar an hour, and that's what I've done for a while now. So to say, if you eat, physically are eating food the rest of the day, for example, like me, I like to eat a lot of rice, then you'll have the, inverted commas, electrolytes in the rice. And if you don't restrict what you eat, I'm just going to change hands. Oh, my arm's getting tight. Oh. If you don't restrict what you eat because you're worried about carbohydrate intake and making you fat, well, then you will have to worry about how much salt and whatnot. Just gonna swap my hands. So I just stopped because my arm was getting tired. But yeah, everything that, you know, the advice that I give, you know, it's all interlinked into each other. So when I talk about all the time about not restricting your foods, it's about, you know, if you don't restrict your food when you're off the bike, you're eating as much as you want of what I say, you know, like the rice and the fruits. And you can eat the fruit, you know, when you're out riding as well. You don't have to worry about, well, where am I getting my salt from or electrolytes from, or, you know, naturally where you're getting it. It will be in your body if you're not restricting, you know, the foods that you need to eat. So as I say, if you always have 100 grams of sugar an hour while you're riding, you won't need to worry about the salt. Now, in terms of, you know, how much water you would say, well, you're talking about sugar. Well, I've said sugar and water. So obviously, right now it's about 8 degrees, so cold. But yeah, I don't necessarily really have to worry about how much water I'm having. Only if I'm starting to ride really quite hard. So I've got two 950ml bottles with me, and that's going to be good for 4 to 5 hours. But you know, when it gets to 20 degrees, really you're going to want to have at least 500 ml an hour at least. And then when you get into over 30 degrees, it's probably 500ml every, you know, not much more than half an hour really. And then when you get to 40 degrees, it's just almost impossible really to stay hydrated. And yeah, you'll go to bed being about 2 kilos lighter than you were when you woke up. So you have to take that into account if you're riding multiple days. But yeah, try it yourself. Just 100 grams of sugar in the bottle, or you know, I've got here with me you know, sweets as well as in the sugar in the bottle. So I've got hundreds of grams of sugar in each, 200 grams of sugar in each, both of these bottles. So I'm probably going to average at least, if not more than 100 grams of sugar an hour. And I've been doing this for, you know, years now, and I don't cramp unless it would be really, really hot, and I just couldn't keep on top of it. So if it's well over 30 degrees, it is difficult, and you have to drink, you know, really a lot. It is almost uncomfortable. And no, don't go out with the mindset that if I don't drink water and starve my body of water, again restricting, that you'll get more efficient. You know, that's not how the body works. You know, if you restrict the things that the body needs, it doesn't make it more efficient at using them. So if you go out and do, you know, rides without having sugar, but you have the salt, you know, even if you put salt in your bottles, you'll still cramp. I guarantee you still might go out and then get cramp, you know, even if you come back, you know, you'll move funny, and then suddenly, you know, your hamstring goes or your calf goes. So yeah, try it. 100 grams of sugar, at least an hour in the bottles, you know, sugar water or sweet or fruit. And if you don't restrict the rice and the fruit, the pasta and the good stuff, the potatoes and whatever it might be, then you don't need to worry about, well, where am I going to get my electrolytes? They'll be in your body there to be used. And you know, if you really were running low on salt, you know, just think, if your brain was running low on salt, it would stop working, wouldn't it, before your muscles. So yeah, try it yourself, let me know how you get on. Guarantee it'll work, guarantee. And you'll never need to worry about cramp again. And now in the winter time, so it's January, it's good to practice getting, you know, your nutrition right for the summer or the race or whatever. So get it right now, and then you won't need to worry. Still quite like cars out, unfortunately. So yeah, remember, practice makes perfect. So do it now when you have months to try things and find what works. And this isn't something that is like, well, it only works for you or me. You know, it works for everyone.